Hey guys, it's Becca from inabookshell. How y'all doing? I know it's been like forever since I have uploaded, but I've finally gotten everything with my school under control. So now just, be looking for weekly updates. I've been so busy with school. It is crazy. I hate textbooks. I hate learning about different things about the brain. I know so much about the human brain because this semester I'm taking psychology, and it's just it's nuts, but I mean, whatever. I mean, I love school and all, but it's really crazy because I don't want to read textbooks. Like, I want to read the books on my really unorganized bookshelf. I know, don't even comment on it. It's really, really bad. Like, really, really bad. I went to get a Halloween costume. My Halloween store is right next to Half Price Books. So, of course, I had to go and, look. I picked up a book. That book was If There's No Tomorrow by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I don't know if I've expressed how much I love Jennifer L. Armentrout's books, but I've read basically all of them. I have pretty much owned most of them. I'm just in love with her books. She has written so many books and so many books. Like, this lady, she makes so many books like in a year. Like, I don't know how she does it. She writes so many books within 1 year. She'll have like 2 books out, and then the next year she'll have like 3 books out. It's crazy. My dream in life is to be an author, and if I was an author, she is one of my top authors that I look up to. I think that she is like one of the best authors that you could ever pick up her books. Her recent release was If There's Tomorrow, and this just came out. The cover is just splendid. I love when contemporary books are just like really simple covers, and it's really pretty. Like, I can feel it. You see, oh, maybe, yeah, and there's like raised lettering. I like that. To give you a brief spoiler-free overview of the book, this book is about a girl named Lena Wise. In the beginning of the story, she has this best friend. His name's Sebastian. They're both seniors, about to be seniors in high school. She plays volleyball. She has all these group of friends. Her and Sebastian have all these group of friends. Life's great. There's just one problem in her life, is that she is in love with Sebastian, and this isn't a spoiler. She talks about it a lot, how she's in love with him, and he has a girlfriend. Let's just say she's too scared to tell him that she's in love with him, and he's kind of unavailable. So it's one of those best friend, I'm in love with you things, but I don't want to tell you because I don't want our best friend relationship to be ruined. One night, an event just catapults and just ruins everything in this world that Jennifer L. Armentrout has set up for us. And what a beautiful world she set up for us. From the beginning, I loved all the characters. I loved the world. I loved our main character. I loved Sebastian. I loved everything about this world. And honestly, I love the side characters so much. I hope that Jennifer just thinks in my mind, and like maybe just get my mind message a little bit and be like, man, I should do a book on this side character because she was pretty awesome. Yeah, Jen. It's me, and all the other readers out there that want to know more. The one thing about contemporary novels is that there's only one. Authors like Jennifer, her characters, even if they're side characters, are so good that you just get addicted to just even the side characters. It's just, that's what you call a good author right there. But anyways, that's it for this non-spoiler free edition, because I'm gonna tell you, disclaimer, you have to read this book. I think every single teenager, young adults, anybody has to read this book, okay? This book has very good lessons in there, and honestly, I never cry in books. I think I've said that before on this channel. I just don't. I might get my eyes get a little maybe red, but they won't. There's no tears, like none. This book, I cried. It is an emotional book, but you'll love it and you'll enjoy it. I mean, by the end of the last page, I was hurting a little bit inside, but in a good way at the same time. So you have to pick this up. Phenomenal, 5 out of 5 stars. Jennifer never disappoints. Okay, for the people that have read this book, I know, look at that. My brother accidentally bleached my sweatshirt, but it's so cold outside. It's like 40 degrees, maybe 30 degrees outside here, so I'm just going to roll with it, okay? This book tore me up in the best way possible. I can't talk about it enough. These side characters were phenomenal. I mean, I wish that these characters hadn't died in the beginning, okay? Cody died, Chris died, Megan died, oh my gosh. Philip died. I was like wanting Megan and Philip to get together. I'm just like one of those readers, like if I see them having a connection like the way Megan and Philip did, I'm like, we need a book, I need a book. But sadly, their lives were cut off too short. I mean, oh my gosh, my heart broke. And I mean, we got like 100 and something pages in to the book without this car accident happening, and we had fallen in love with all these other characters. I fell in love with Megan. I loved her boisterous personality. I wish I had a best friend like that in my life who talked like that all the time and was just, you know, she was just a best friend that any girl could have. I mean, seriously. And then she was in love with Philip, and Philip and her were so cute. And then Chris, we didn't really learn a lot about Chris, so he was just the cousin of Megan, so I'm sure he was a great guy. And then Cody, oh my gosh, Cody, I don't know why, but like, I really liked him. Like in a weird way, I liked him, you know? So it was really sad to me when they all died. Like I knew something was gonna happen. And drinking and driving is a terrible problem. It is a mistake that a lot of teenagers make, and that's why I think that every single person should read this book. I love the message behind this book, and I loved how by the end of the book, it was like you knew the message that Jennifer was trying to get across. It was, you know, you shouldn't make stupid mistakes. You shouldn't drink and drive, and you know, you shouldn't be afraid to like stand up for something that you could stop, you know, because Lena could have stopped this from all happening. I think that was the most heartbreaking thing for her to realize, because, and it wasn't like nobody was saying, oh, it's not your fault at all. There's, you know, people were like, it is partially your fault, you know, and that is something that her character will have to live with for the rest of her life. And I think that that is something that is just heartbreaking and devastating. As soon as she got out of the hospital, it was just devastating to watch her go through this like grief, but she wasn't really in grief. She was kind of in shock because 4 of her friends had just been killed and she was the only one in there that survived. I don't know what I would have done. I think I would have gone severely depressed. I would have been severely depressed. And one thing that had a problem with it was that like as soon as she got out of the hospital, it was like everybody around her wanted her to return back to normal, like start going to volleyball practice, start going to school. And it's like, this girl cannot go to school. Like let her mourn. Let her just be, I don't know, because it was like they wanted her to go about her normal life when they really didn't understand was that she has been in this car with 4 of her other friends, and they're all dead. Like they all died. And this girl needs to talk to somebody, like immediately. Sebastian, let's just talk about Sebastian. Sebastian, I don't know. I loved him. Like honestly, I did love him. But like going back and looking at the beginning of the book, he did kind of push her away, you know? I understand that he had these feelings for her. So I don't understand, like when they kissed, why did he push her away and was like, oh, you didn't mean to do that, right? It was like the embarrassment when she thought he was gonna kiss her at that party, and then he just picked her up, threw her in the pool. Yeah, that was kind of hard to read because I could picture it so perfectly, and it was like, why is that my life? Why? I love Lena's character. Oh, that's one thing we had to talk about. There were so many Sarah J. Maas book references. Rhysand is my man, okay? And when I saw his name on that page, I about freaked out. I love Lena. She's a book reader like us, so we connect obviously to her. And obviously she doesn't want to date any other boys because she loves Sebastian. The whole entire book just kind of broke my heart because at the beginning we had been set up with this entire world that I would just love to live in with all these friends, and she had the greatest friends, and they were all taken away from her except for Abby and the other one, Dari. I'm saying it wrong, I know, because every single time I read her name I said Dari, and kept thinking about milk. I just wanted to know more about the side characters. Obviously, you couldn't really know more about the side characters that passed away, but characters like Keith, I would definitely want to know more about what he was thinking. I mean, obviously, we knew that he was going through some kind of trauma too, because his parents were getting like charges put against him because it was at their house where they let these kids drink at their house, which is not a good thing to do. I mean, they're responsible in some sort of way. We knew that he was going through something, like depressed about it all, but you know, he was that one character that, you know, you heard about, but we didn't really know much about him. And the only thing that we really knew about him was that he was getting over it and Abby was helping him get over it. I would kind of like to get like a book between them, but you know, it's probably not gonna happen. It's a standalone book. And I love Jennifer L. Armentrout. She writes the best contemporaries. I've read like all of her contemporaries and I'm never disappointed in any of her books. So I wish that she would do like a young adult like contemporary series. I love contemporary series, not standalones. Oh my gosh. I thought this book was phenomenal. I loved how at the end of the book, Lena finally realized that, you know, even though my friends have died, that doesn't mean that they would want me to be depressed this way. They would want me to get over it. You know, they would want me to get some help and talk to somebody about it so that I wasn't in this state, because she was in this state of shock. And once she got out of that shock, then she could progress into grief. And I loved how the psychologist person that she was talking to, like, really helped her. And I loved how at the end we got that sort of peace where she was going to their graves, and because she hadn't been to their graves. And teenage death in books is not something that we really see firsthand in books. Like, I don't think I've ever read a book where the character is in a car accident and all the other people die except for her. You know, if they were wearing their seatbelts, like the doctor was about to say, you know, they probably would have survived. And that's just heartbreaking. Like, I really wish that I could jump into that book and go to that party and make them, you know, not get in that car, just like Lena wishes that she did. And I love this book so much. I have so many thoughts about it. I just think that I just keep repeating everything because this book really rocked my world. I really, really love Sebastian. I thought that he was a really good friend. And I loved their relationship between him and Lena. It really got the story going and stuff. But I also loved how that wasn't the main focus of the story, and that he wasn't the one that healed her. You know, in some cliche books, how the guy is kind of the one that heals the girl. But in this, it was kind of like, it wasn't that way. She had to step up the plate and say, you know, I need to talk to someone. You know, I need help. I will be recommending this to anyone and everyone. And for you guys that read this book, I want to know everything that you felt, and I will talk to you about it, because I'm talking to a camera right now and I still want to talk more. So please comment down below what you guys thought about this book. Do you want another book? I want another book in this world, don't you? But I get it, it's a standalone, whatever. Can we all vote that more authors need to have young adult contemporary series instead of standalones? No more standalones, authors. We need series. 5 out of 5 stars. Loved it so much. I hope you guys loved it too, and I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. I will see you in my next video. Bye!